Are you driving home from training?
Yup. Trying to get that last workout in,
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Yo, 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 what it do? What it do? It's me. It's me. It's that wrestling dude. And I'm joined here, as always, with the redhead with the most. What's going on, Ginger Spice?
What's up, guys? It's the co-host with the most, your boy Ginger Spice. And we got a very good interview coming up with someone that's about to go back to the motherland to have his first wrestling match there. We see what we got.
All right, man. Sitting with us here is El Hijo Perdido de la Isla, El Sazón del Caribe, WWC Florida's Coast to Coast champion, man. AREZ Perez, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely,
I knew we've
absolutely,
been wanting
man.
this interview, to talk about the motherland. So here we are.
Here we are. Let's get right into it, man. Who trained you? How long you been in the biz, and where you based out of?
So who trained me was Vertigo the Kira Rivera. Very Puerto Rican guy. Um, he trained me. He has 100% stamp on the guy who like really put me to where I need to be. I also trained with Ace Steel. Right now, I train at a school at the Foundation of Pro Wrestling, Santana Garrett, and After the Wild Samoan. May you rest in peace. And I'm based out of Orlando, Florida, and I've been
Hey.
wrestling 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's so special about the Wild Samoan, man, in that school? Because once he passed, you see so much love come out in support of him.
So Pops, well, that's one of the things we don't call him Alpha, we call him Pops. He really took people in as their kids. Like I was at a school that was very abusive, very emotionally manipulative. They made you feel like shit just so you would come back and keep paying the trainer money. So Vertigo was like, "Hey, like I'm done with you like going through this. Come train with me." So I went over to Pops, and Pops welcomed me with open arms. He does that to all his kids because that's what we were. So yeah, he
How
said
old are
it.
you now?
I just turned 30, unfortunately.
Oh man, I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. I'm about to be 40 in April.
Yeah.
I remember when I was just turning 30. It seems like so long ago.
Oh, yeah, I know. Me too.
So you're a lifelong fan of wrestling?
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up watching Puerto Rican wrestling. So like Shane the Glamour Boy, Ricky Banderas, freaking La Momia, TNT, Savio Vega. So yeah, after that, I stopped watching it for a little bit, and then I got into WWE in 2006, and ever since then, I was hooked.
So what made you actually pick out a school and say fuck it, make the leap and go and get into the ring, start training?
Well, it was hard because I didn't know that there was schools. I didn't know like how it worked. I was like, aren't you supposed to like tweet at somebody and somebody will say, yeah, I'll train you, like I'll pay you money. But then I went to a local show, an NXT show, and somebody was like, hey, you should check out this school. And then I went and called, and here I am. It was took a
Are
lot of mental preparation.
I
are
bet.
you from Orlando?
I live in Kissimmee right now, but
You're
no,
from the
I was
Central Florida area?
yeah, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, but I live in Kissimmee. Yeah,
Okay. The other
yeah,
Florida, the other Puerto Rico, the other capital.
exactly.
So what part of Puerto Rico are you from and everything? Rep the
I'm
rep the
from
Pueblo, man.
yeah, I'm from Trujillo Alto.
Okay, that's where the show is gonna be this weekend, right?
It's in Fort Buchanan. Actually, I don't know. I've never
That's
been.
in
So
Guaynabo. That's like, oh no, there's another one in Trujillo Alto in a couple of weeks. I saw. I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about going to that one. So the Fort Buchanan is in Guaynabo, right?
yeah.
But that's not that far from Trujillo Alto.
No, and everything over there's like a 20-minute drive. It's so easy to get
That's what they
everywhere
want you to
there.
think. It ain't Orlando. It takes 20 minutes everywhere in Orlando if you take the highways, man, and you pay the tolls.
It feels like 30 or more for me for everything.
Yeah.
So
So
what was
this is your first time over there, wrestling over there, right?
So it's first time in a couple years because I used to wrestle in Puerto. I moved to Puerto Rico for a whole year actually, and I wrestled down there. And I wasn't AREZ Perez, El Sazón del Caribe. I was somebody else. So like now getting to go back to that promotion because I wrestled for CWA for a whole year, but now getting to go back to that promotion as who I am right now is like a big deal to me because it took me a long time to like get everything together and make this opportunity happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you first break in as? Something embarrassing? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cringy, man. It was I took my one of my favorite Power Rangers first name and one of my favorite wrestlers last name and I put it together and then I was like, yeah.
Tommy Savage.
that's that's better than what I picked. So I'll tell you. So I liked Blake from Ninja Storm, the Navy Scarab Ranger, I believe is what it is. And I liked Lance Archer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I forget that you're 8 years younger than us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, he wasn't watching
I'm
the
an
OG
OG
stuff.
Power Ranger fan. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm OG. Like I've watched all the way from Mighty Morphin all the way to current, so I know my
Yeah, but
stuff.
you
But at the
weren't there, man. You weren't even
no, I
born when the
wasn't.
first Power Rangers
I
came out.
wasn't. I wasn't. No. You're right. You're right. You're right. I wasn't born. I wasn't planned.
Yeah. None of us were. We're
What
three Puerto Rican kids here. None of us were planned.
Oh, hey, I think
That's
I
true.
was.
You might be. So you're the middle one.
I know middle ones usually are.
That's true.
What was the hardest part about going through wrestling school? Like outside of like obviously the physicality stuff.
So the hardest part, like obviously, like economically, I was working for Disney at the time, so I was making like what maybe like 150 to 200 bucks a week because I was what was it 750 when I first started with them, and then the school was $200 a month, so it was like okay, like I was also 18, so I was like blowing my money on dumb stuff all the time too. So that was hard, and then obviously like the physicality, like the falling on your back, like it really freaked me out for a little bit until one day I told myself, "You gotta get through it." And I got through it. So yeah,
But
economically
that
it's
was the
hard.
scariest thing, like the backdrop, to take that bump, like
Yeah, the
with
bumps
your,
were
like
were
jumping. That's what I would say, like the trusting, but like you gotta trust yourself before you could even trust anybody else in the ring.
hmm Yeah, but it's like also your body your whole life is like aware that if you're falling, you have to try to catch yourself, but now you have to train yourself to fall safely. It's going against everything. In other words, human nature is like you're training yourself for something new. So that's why like a lot of kids like some kids don't bump till like they're like a month in or something like that so they can get mentally ready and then they start bumping them. In Puerto Rico, they bump you
Right.
like the first day to see if you even like it, to see if you want to quit.
Rip it off like a band-aid, yo. Let's get this
Yeah,
over with.
yeah,
Yeah, man, it's gotta be like the toughest part of it. Like you said, lying, straight on your back and not trying to catch yourself on there.
yeah,
If you can't get through that. So you said it
yeah.
took you what 10 years to get to where you're at now with AREZ Perez. I mean, was it like a gradual build or did you have a couple aha moments like, oh shit, I should do this and I should do that?
So yeah, it took because I was the first name for like a couple years. Then I was Alex Todd for like 5 years. And then it mostly because my ex-girlfriend was telling me, dude, you're so Puerto Rican. Why don't you speak Spanish? You also have the ability to switch between English and Spanish and still sound the same. Like that's rare. And she was like, plus I see you like when we go out to the club, I see you when you're listening to Spanish music, how much into it you get. You should change it. So I was like, okay, but I don't want to be Alex Todd and be Puerto Rican. I want to make the change. So what I did was is I mentally prepared myself because I was Alex Todd for so long. I still have people that call me Todd, so I still go. I'm like, oh yeah, because they'd known me for so long under that name. And then it took like, okay, so like if I'm gonna make the change, it's gotta be like a complete 180 where like people are like, holy crap, like you don't even look like you anymore. Like, where'd Alex Todd go? And I'm like, yeah, he died. So I started doing like little changes because it also took time to find the name. Because I was like, Perez. Yeah, it's famous in Puerto Rico, but it's my actual last name. So let me go ahead and pick that. And then for AREZ, I was like, I like to fight. I do martial arts. Like I was like, it makes sense. God of War, AREZ Perez. It sounds good in Spanish. Sounds good in English. And then and the most important part, go on YouTube and make sure there's nobody with my name. And then
Yeah.
I did the switch. I did promos leading up to it, like a paper burning the Alex Todd name. I was ripping pictures of Alex Todd, stepping on them. I did a promo with my ex-girlfriend where she was like, "You need to find yourself." And then one day I did the promo and I flipped, and then everybody was like, "Holy crap!" So 10 years to get to me.
So
This is
who
your
was Alex?
favorite? You really feel like this is the one? Like you're yourself turned up to 11?
Yeah, el sazón del Caribe. That's me, papi.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So who was I'm just curious now, man. Who's Alex Todd then?
Alex Todd was a confused kid. He like so Alex Todd began in Puerto Rico actually for CWA. He portrayed the American gimmick because my English is really good. So they were like, "Oh, maybe you should do the American gimmick, come out with the American flag." So I did. And then when I moved to back to Orlando, it was like, okay, so what does Alex Todd do now? So I went with the original concept for Alex Todd, which was Jason Todd, but in wrestling from Batman. So I was like, okay, so I got like Red Hood looking pants. I bought $150 Red Hood jacket from frickin' uh from Europe, like $150 for the jacket plus shipping. And I was coming out as Alex Todd, and then I got a manager, and then I started wearing a mask, and then I went from speaking English to not speaking to then working my way out of the Alex Todd character into something else. And then I started doing martial arts. So I was like, okay, so Alex Todd will be this martial artist guy. Now he comes out with a belt around like his actual martial arts belt, and all he does is strikes and kicks and punches. Like I still do a little bit of that now, but now with some sazon on top, you know?
Yeah.
But that's who Alex Todd was. And in my opinion, I took Alex Todd as far as I could take him because there's not much I could do with him at this point. I was like, because now I'm like, oh, I'm more Hispanic. I should portray that. And I can't be super Hispanic and be Alex Todd. So I was like, okay, like let's flip it. And then I flipped to 180 and here we are. So that's who Alex Todd is. Ish.
Ish.
Yeah. I can't he went
Nah,
through he went through so much stuff. I don't know.
yeah. What would you describe your ring style as for people that haven't seen it?
Very physical. My trainer Vertigo taught me to be very physical in the ring. So I like to hit hard, but I also expect it. Yeah, I like to be hit hard. I also very cocky, very flair. I a little bit of like try to be a little bit like Eddie in everyday life. Um, but yeah, so physical striker. We'll bust out a high flying move every now and then when the time calls for it, and then you'll see me gyrate my hips a lot.
Mix it all together.
That's just part of the DNA. That
Yeah.
part. So what kind of martial arts do you train at out in the world?
So my sensei's main style is Dutch Muay Thai kickboxing. So we do that, but we also have a little bit of everything because he's been doing it his whole life. So we have a little bit of karate, taekwondo. Now we just implemented Krav Maga self-defense. So defense against a gun, defense against a knife, stuff like that. So a little bit of everything.
And what's the name of the school and where's it located, man? Put a plug in there for your
Okay.
master.
So Shogun Martial Arts Dojo in Kimeru Dojo in St. Cloud, Florida at Fitness CF. Go check it out. My classes, he only charges $65 a month. You can go from Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. is adults. So if you want to come check it out, let me know. I'll be there.
All right.
Yeah.
You can go learn something else other than capoeira, Ginger.
Hey man, I love capoeira.
So good.
What do you think your best match so far? Like if someone had to go check you out on YouTube, what would you tell them to go watch first?
Ooh, go watch my match with Jake St. Patrick from. I know Ginger was there when me and Jake tagged up at Storytellers. So
He remembered me, but he didn't remember you, Weed. So you're a bitch.
That's
Remember?
all right. Don't hurt my feelings, bro.
he was the one putting the flag over my chest.
Yeah,
I
finally
remember,
somebody
bro. I haven't
remembers me. Nobody ever remembers me. Everybody always remembers him because he's the actual boss. But I'm out there trying to fucking get likes and subscribes too, people.
Yeah, Ginger put the flag over me. He's like, "You guys, you won this match, bro. You won this match." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." but yeah, man.
Was that the first or second time we went?
I've only been there once.
So it's probably
then
the
we
first
got
time,
White
yeah.
Castle after.
Was that time?
Yeah.
That was such a long time ago, too. Holy shit, man.
It was a long time ago, man.
Yeah,
Jake's good, man. Jake's good. I like what he's doing in the ring now.
Yeah, his our match from UCW earlier this year was money. Like when I tell you, like our timing was everything. Like the match couldn't have been more perfect, and we were main event.
Nice. I'm about to go check that out. It's on
yeah,
YouTube?
Yes, it's on YouTube.
All right. Anyone you want to face right now?
What future opponent?
Yeah.
That I would like? Yeah, I want to. Ginger will appreciate this one, but I'm trying to cross off the Puerto Ricans off the list, like Danny Limelight, Slice Boogie. I want to go up to New York and wrestle all the different Puerto Ricans that live up there. I want to do that, like be around my people. And then like right now I have a manager, his name's AC Smooth, and our little group is called Boricua Legacy. So we're trying to get that off the ground.
I need to send a link to that. Here to all the Boricua out there, man. Let me crack open this medalla for all you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get in the ring with as much as Hispanic wrestlers out there so I can get more knowledge from them to see what I can do to get to where they're at. Like for example, they would love to at least even breathe the same air as Mike Santana. See what he has, see what advice he has for me and stuff like that. Because yeah,
he's on a tear right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And he's wrestling in Puerto Rico now, so maybe I'll run into him over there.
Have you been anywhere else besides Florida and Puerto Rico to wrestle?
Yeah, so these past couple weeks I've actually been out of town. So 2 weeks ago I was in Detroit for the first time to wrestle. And then but my best friend lives over there, so I was like, oh, might as well find a booking so I could, kill two birds with one stone. And I was in New Jersey actually wrestling for a Puerto Rican company called Intense Wrestling Alliance, and it's run by a Puerto Rican promoter. So he loves like giving opportunities to us Hispanics to wrestle in front of a new crowd. So I'm up in Jersey, and then this weekend I'm in Puerto Rico. Actually, all my shows except this weekend's have been canceled. So I'm actually going to be off. Probably going to go clubbing every weekend for the next couple weeks. And then WWC Florida's doing a show November 2nd and then November 9th. And then after that, I'm going to be in Boston for Supernova Wrestling. And then the day after that, so I'm going to fly from Boston back to New Jersey to work with Intense Wrestling Alliance again. So I'm trying to wrestle mostly out of Florida, but I'll still, do my WWC Florida or Atomic or the ones that'll still want me here. Yeah. But right now I'm just trying to work outside of Florida. And whenever Storytellers wants to run again,
they haven't had anything for a while, right?
Yeah, because the last show they crowned a new champion, yours truly, and And then we did a seminar with Mike Chioda, and he hasn't gotten back. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna run another one soon." So I'm just waiting to see what they want to do.
Yeah, the last show was like in February, right? February, March, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Remember the guy
So
looked like Mr. Sinister from the X-Men. You're like, how you guys doing? I was like, this guy's gonna kill me. I'm
Bottom one looked
sorry
like
for being
Chris,
too loud and obnoxious.
You're good, man. You're Puerto Rican, bro. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, you're all over the place, man. Why do you think that is? Like, I'm sure there's guys out there that can't get booked, and if they're listening, like, what kind of advice would you give them on just being able to stay consistently booked like that in different places?
Don't take no for an answer. Always send your stuff out. Be humble. Um, Back when I first started, so I have this really strong opinion of I came into wrestling at the wrong time. I should have come to wrestling a few years after I started, because then I would have come in with the crowd of people that like are there for each other and are not trying to backstab each other or screw each other out of bookings. Um, or they tell you don't pay for your own flight because that's a stupid. That's all I'm doing right now. There's a show that you want to get booked on, go. Fly yourself. There's a tryout in a different state that you want to go, fly yourself out. Literally just I trained with Robbie Eagles from New Japan last week, and that's exactly what Robbie told me. Robbie was like, "Is that what you're doing?" And I told him, "Yes." There was a tryout for this in Georgia. I drove myself. There was a tryout in New York. I bought my own flight. I had nowhere to stay, but I bought my own flight because that's more important to me. So for all the new people that are trying to break in, there's going to be times where you're going to want to quit. You just have to breathe and try to find yourself a support system. That's number one. Find yourself a support system. If your parents support you, great. Mine didn't. That was hard for me. They did not support me, and now here we are 10 years later, and now my mom's sharing all my stuff, going mi sazón del Caribe, and I'm like, finally, finally. It only took 10 years for you to jump on board, but she's sharing all my stuff. Like, it's great. Like, make sure you have a support system, somebody that's always going to keep you focused. Like when me and my ex-girlfriend were together, I would tell her all the time, I want to quit, and she's like, well, do it. And then but she was like, but that's what makes you happy. I was like, no. And she goes, then don't do it, and let's focus on this. Yeah, don't take no for an answer. Pay for your own flights. It's okay. Take a leap of faith and go to shows you don't know anybody at, and be like, hi, I'm here to set up the ring. Set up the ring, take it down, meet the promoter, and that promoter is going to be like, yeah, yeah, let's bring you back. When I got booked in Detroit, I showed up so I could help set up. I didn't have to, but I showed up to help. That's what it's all about. And I'm 10 years in, and I'm still doing that.
That's what people don't understand, man. You got to bet on yourself, man. Because I mean, especially starting off, no one's gonna take a chance on you. You'll get lucky to get a break here and there, but you got to bet on yourself.
Mhm.
Anything you do.
Yeah, yeah, and be humble. That's what you got to be. You can't come in shooting your mouth off. I mean, some people it works for them, but
I
just be
appreciate you
humble.
say that about being humble, because I feel like less and less people are humble nowadays. You know what I mean? I think that they feel like they have to put on this face of whatever social media feels like they got to be, and they're just a bunch of assholes out there,
Hmm.
like all
Yeah,
over the place. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to being humble and being nice anymore?
right.
I don't know. I'm too much of a hippie. But let me ask you this:
Yeah.
what's your favorite beach in Puerto Rico?
Oof. So generic, I love Isla Verde, but recently when I went with my ex, we drove all the way down Isla Verde into Isabela, and then
Mhm.
we found like this little place where we just drove up into the sand, and the water was beautiful. There was like this coral reef right here that had a path that led straight into Wepa. It led it led straight into open water, and oh, it was beautiful. And then I haven't been to
I heard.
There we go.
Go
Right
ahead.
here, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's this natural stone figure thing that looks like a stone bridge, and it's tied,
Yeah.
and it's got a beach there. That's on my bucket list of places to go. So
It's amazing that stone bridge hadn't broken yet with all the not necessarily the hurricanes, but the earthquakes that have been happening down in that part of Puerto Rico on the south side
yeah,
over by Ponce
yeah,
and everything.
yeah. That's why I'm trying to go, because I'm like, what if it gets ruined, man?
You know, I always go to Puerto Rico, and I've been staying on the west side recently a lot in Aguada.
Mhm,
And I'm
mhm.
like, oh, I want to go like travel to all these different beaches. But then I'm like, I wake up and I just start drinking medallas right away. And like, say, hold up, I'm stay right here at this beach. The furthest I'm going is the crash boat. Where I'm coming back. Because crash boat
Yes.
got food and alcohol there too. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, I forgot my one of the beaches in Luquillo where where the natural saltwater pool is, where you have to take a
Mhm.
boat to get there. That one is hands down one of my favorites.
I've been down there, like down by
Ooh.
like the Playuela
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
with
La
lighthouses.
Palguera.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So you've been in the
Yeah.
business 10 years. What's your
Mhm.
favorite? What's your go-to store? Road store? You got one that you can
But-
tell?
that I can tell. Let me see. Favorite story, like in one of the trips and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
anything. What's your go-to wrestling store?
So, go to wrestling story. Oh man, I'm gonna put on the spot. There was one time where I used to go to Shine a lot to go help set up the ring and stuff to see if we could get more opportunities on different parts of Shine. Not Shine, different parts of WWN, like
Mhm.
ACW, FIP, Evolve. So I would go because not a lot of guys would show up to help out. I went with how many people were in the car? It was me, Vertigo, Su Young. There were five of us. We came back with actually no, there was like six of us, and we came back with 8 people.
Cram 'em in.
Yeah, we cram them
And a
in.
little
Yeah.
fucking four banger
It was in
car,
a Mazda, a four-door Mazda. It was pretty long, but it wasn't
a
like
Mazda 3 or something.
yeah. And like we're all after the show, Ginger. After the show, you know what they partake in. They're they're all smoking the devil's lettuce, and
Hey man, you gotta free your mind and relax a little bit after a hard day's
yeah,
work.
yeah. So we're all in the circle, and then we all start driving back, and I'm not driving because apparently I'm really messed up, which makes me mad because I like to drive my car. I don't like other people driving my car. But
Yeah.
I'm in the back seat, and the girl that was driving was like, "Where's this?" And the girl that was next to her pulls up the emergency brake to look for
Ooh.
it. Girl didn't put it back down. And we start driving, and the
Oh
girl's
man.
going, "Why is your car going so slow?" And she's like, "My car's doing that." And then they're like, "Oh, the emergency brake is up." And I was like,
Oh god.
so in the middle of the trip back, somebody in the car took a little bit too much devil's lettuce and started panicking because he thought somebody was following us. So he started yelling. He was like, "Get off in this exit! They're following us! Get off in this exit!" And I'm just like, "No, no, keep going. I'm trying to get home and get all these people out of my car." Oh my God. So we pulled over to a 7-Eleven to wait for him to stop freaking out. Yeah,
No,
that was one.
no more for him.
Yeah.
Trusty 7-Eleven, always there to hold you down when times are rough.
It's funny. I got baked one time and I drove like 20 miles with my e-brake on too. And I was at a stoplight. So guys like, "Hey, your car's smoking." And I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Never
Dude,
forget that again.
yeah.
I got high
That
once. I mean, so many times, but the one time I remember that I felt like the road was ending, and I had to pull over. I think the road just ended. Road I drove like every day for years. I'm like, I gotta stop.
there was another one that was a little bit worse than that one, but it was more not worse as in like as bad as like him freaking out. It was more like I got home at like 8 in the morning, because I had 6 people in my car again. We drove down to Miami to be a part of Brainbuster Pro Wrestling for when Johnny Vandal used to run and he was still wrestling. And then we're driving back, and one of the girls has to fly out. So she's like, "Hey, can you drop me off at Fort Lauderdale's airport?" So we drop her off at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I get back on the highway. I shit you not. As soon as I pull back on the highway, she calls me and she goes, "Hey, I'm actually flying out of Orlando, not Fort Lauderdale."
Oh god,
So
that sounds
now I
like
have,
something my wife would do.
yeah. So now I have to pull out, get back on the highway, get back, go grab her, get back on the highway. And the worst part is nobody offered to drive. Everybody
Oh,
passed out.
too.
They're all in the back seat. Like the guy next to me, my Vertigo, my trainer was next to me, and he was like, "I'm gonna stay awake." And then next thing you know, he's so I'm
Of
just there
course.
like oh my god,
Driving
I'm exhausted.
95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that was just bad on the case of like I should have gotten some help on the trip, but I didn't.
Gotta get some
Yeah.
Not
Zin
as bad as the
packs, man.
first
Put
one.
some nicotine up there and fucking roll out, baby.
Gross.
What's your talking about Zin packs? What's your pre-match ritual?
Pre-match ritual is now ever since I started doing martial arts, I'll grunt really loudly, like to try to like get into the headspace, and I'll do some of my shadow boxing in the corner. I'll jump around just to try to get myself hype. Just to get in like the mindset of it, to just like I'll just go, oh, like I'll breathe to like, if I had Vicks, it'd be easier. Breathe, let
Oh,
it
but a
out.
Boricua, you should just wish Vicks and it comes out of nowhere.
I know somebody's gonna have it, so I'll be like, "Yo, can I get
They
some?"
got those little Vicks and nasal inhalers. They're like little fucking
Ooh,
chapstick looking things.
mm,
I always carry
yeah.
one with me, dude. It always
Oh
helps
yeah, I
out.
need to find one, bro.
Go to
But
CVS. They got them at any fucking store, dude. I'll send you a link. I'll show you what it looks like.
appreciate it.
You never know, you
The
might break your
Boricua
leg or
tip-
something.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, man, I'm just
The cure
you know
all.
just trying to get into it. Like if I'm about to like go do like a competitive like MMA fight, and then I get out there, as soon as the music hits, I lose myself.
What are you listening to before your actual music hits? Are you listening to music when you're doing the grunting and everything, or are you just trying to wholly meditate?
Um, Meditate, but then at the same time, it's like, why am I meditating when I should be getting hype? So I'll listen to Bad Bunny. I'll listen to, if I want to get like really, really hyped, I'll listen to some Metallica, like do some Master of Puppets,
Yeah, that's the best album. That's my go-to Metallica album every time.
yeah. So I'll listen to that, and then I love when people try to talk to me and they're like, yo, give him his space. Cause I'll just be like, "Ah, I'm just throwing punches and throwing kicks just to try to get in the mood." But yeah,
So
man.
you're currently WWC's Florida's Coast to Coast champion. You beat
Hmm.
Psycho back in July at Showdown in Sunshine State.
Yep.
Tell us about that, man. How'd that feel?
Well, it was surreal because I feel like in my opinion, and strictly my opinion, I work harder than most other people. I'm training during the week. I train in martial arts. Now I'm back training in pro wrestling. I have a corporate job, a 9 to 5, and then as soon as I have the same schedule every week. Wake up, go to work, get off of work, go to training, get home late, eat something if I'm hungry, and then pass out and repeat. And then I've been working with them since their first show, and at first, like, they took me as their own little like project to see if they could change me and mold me to where they wanted me to go. And so far, I've been hitting all the points. And then, yeah, well, winning it, I didn't believe it when they told me. I was like, nah, you're just busting my balls, bro. Nah, bro. So we do the match. Um, I take my first Spanish fly in that match, which was scary. But after I won the belt, it was surreal, like just grabbing it, and I'm just like, this is what all the hard work is about. This is my hard work paying off. And then when I got backstage, that reaction to everybody expecting me when I walked back through the curtain, is just surreal. So I'm very grateful for them, and I'm very grateful that I still get to work with them. So I'm sad that the show got canceled, but shit happens, you know.
Yeah. Is that your
Talking
biggest moment?
Go ahead.
So
Wisa.
far,
Was that your so
yeah.
far? Yeah.
hmm Yeah,
So
I think I think
go
also
ahead.
getting Vertigo's approval, that too. Like whenever he tells me he's proud of me, it's like cool. So I am living up to your name, and I am making you look good in front of other people. So yeah, those two.
So let me ask you this, because that's interesting. You say that again. Which was my original question. Was that you get an applause outside by all the fans, you know what I mean? But then you get the applause, you know, a standing ovation behind the curtain, which probably doesn't
Mhm.
happen all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's busy, blah 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 blah. But when they get to see that, what fills your heart more? You know what I mean? Your peers or the fans?
Well, I love the appreciation of the fans and stuff like that always, but bitch. um, just to the I feel I don't know. For a long time, I felt like nobody really like takes notice of what I'm doing. So for all of them to be waiting to clap their hands as soon as I walk backstage to see that satisfaction, and me telling them thank you so much for having me, and they're like, dude, you deserve this. This is your moment. Like run with it. Now run with it. Like you won the belt. Now it's time for you to keep it and defending and deliver high caliber matches. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I defended it in New Jersey already because sheesh. Sorry. I defended in New Jersey already, because Mecha Wolf is the heavyweight champion right now, so it's hard to compete with that. So I'm like trying to defend it out of state too, and I'm taking it with me to Puerto Rico. I'm not defending it, but I'm taking it with me. That way it can like to show, give it its first Puerto Rican exposure and stuff like that. I'm gonna go train in Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo. Hopefully, open that door. That way I can defend the belt there and just keep going, try to be a more memorable champion than the one before me. That way, when it's time to give it up, there's more prestige to the belt.
Leave it in a better place than you received it.
Exactly.
Speaking of Puerto Rico, man, this Friday, October 4th, you'll be in Puerto Rico, CWA, Lucha Libres, Halloween Horror Fights, three-way dance, you, Jose Burgos, and Ricky Rubio. So you said it's pretty much like a homecoming for you, right?
Yes. Yes. And it's so funny that Ricky Rubio is in that match because he was in the car the day of that story. He wasn't the one freaking out, but another guy was, but he was in the car. So it's funny. But yeah, Ricky Rubio and Jose Burgos. Jose Burgos' trainer is one of my closest friends. So I'm like really excited to see. I've seen him wrestle already. Kid's great. But now it's time to see what he does when I'm in there with him. So I'm excited.
Are those Puerto Rican crowds still as wild as they were known for?
Oh yeah. And I love the like nobody does it like them, man.
I've never been to a show in Puerto Rico yet. I don't think we saw it either. I've seen WWE over there, but that doesn't really count.
Right.
So I'm like dying to go to a show over there. And I saw again, like I was saying, in October, I saw there was October 19th, 2 people are having shows. There's a show in Vega Baja and there's a show in Trujillo Alto.
Do you know
is it showing for that?
Is it EWA or is it?
I think it is IWA and someone else. But I don't remember exactly. But I was like, man, I'm always trying to go to Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about going to those.
You should, man, especially if you get a chance to check out IWA.
Yeah, like the real stuff. Not the real stuff, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. OG shit.
Yeah. Like I want to see where they killed through their body.
All right. Oh man.
El Coliseo Rafael Hernandez, algo así, ¿verdad?
Dude, if Vader One got your address, didn't he mail you something?
I did not say his name, and don't say nothing, okay? You say his name 3 times, he comes, all right? So relax. But yes, I have his name. He who should not be named, I have his mask from him. But edit this out, okay? Nobody needs to know that.
Oh, man.
You want to call anybody out to talk some shit about somebody?
Hey, Ricky Rubio, you remember all the car rides we went on and you didn't give me a slip of gas money? I'll see you on Friday.
Dale.
You better get your receipt for now.
Yeah, I said it in the promo. Go watch it.
Yeah.
With inflation.
Yeah.
Real too, because that's because I remember back in the day, giving the guy $5 and like you can get a ride for a while. Like now, like that didn't get new shit.
Yep.
That gets you 30 miles. $5 is like 30 miles in my car.
All right, last question for you. Any embarrassing moments in the ring? Have you shit yourself yet?
No, I have not. No. Any embarrassing moments in the ring? Oh. No, I haven't shit myself. I haven't pissed myself.
Boricuas don't get embarrassed, baby. We perfect all the time. You gotta
haven't
let the
thrown up.
people know.
Yeah. No. Luckily, no. The only time, like, maybe
That's
for getting a
embarrassing
match,
right there.
for getting a match or something. Yeah, but no bodily fluids have been spilled yet.
What do you mean forgetting a match? Like you just get in there and be like, I totally blanked on what we talked about.
Yeah.
Calling it in the ring, kid.
I'll see you out there, brother.
How do you overcome that? That's a good question because like when you go out there in your space like that, everyone's staring at you. You just kind of say, "Hey, lead me," and hope it comes to you.
Just fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Like find something, go grab something, and talk to that guy.
How do you even remember to do all the moves? Like, you know what I mean? Like they would say, like Randy Savage would write everything down, and if you fucked up, you're gonna hear it. You know what I mean? But like now, like I can't even remember what I do when I get up out of the chair after this. Like, you know what I mean?
Honestly, like I'm grateful that I have a really good memory. So like it's only happened to me maybe a couple of times that I've forgotten what's next or something like that. But besides that, I've been good so far.
Knock on wood.
Do you prefer to have it to talk it out, or do you rather like call it in the ring and feel the crowd and all of that?
I like to have a structure. So if we have some kind of structure, cool. But if you want to feel everything else out, we'll feel everything else out. Yeah. It's always good to have a structure in a match.
Yeah, at least no beginning, middle, and end, right? Fill in the blanks from there.
Yeah.
That's all I got for you, man. Ginger, you got anything else for him?
That's all I got, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for putting your life on the line and your health and safety for our entertainment.
Of course.
We're big fans of that, of people risking their lives for us to be cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. Go ahead and get your shit out, man. Where can they find you? Where's your merch at? All that good shit.
So you can find me on Instagram under AREZ_Perez Boricua. You can find me on Facebook under AREZ Pere or AREZ Perez Santini. That's my main page, but I had a lot of fans on there as well. I'm on X. I'm on under AREZ Pere _. I don't use it much, but I do have that as well. On YouTube, I'm the only one with my name. So you look up AREZ Pere versus AREZ Perez versus, and all my matches will pop up for you. And yep. And then if you guys, people in Puerto Rico, watch this, come out to CWA October 4th for Halloween Horror Fights.
There we go. Ginger,
All
go ahead, man.
I don't know. Like and subscribe to Ginger Space.
Or don't, right?
Or don't. It's cool. Whatever. Tell me I spoke too much yesterday, so I was trying to keep it short today.
Who told you that?
You said, I was like, hey, like and subscribe. Either don't, I don't care. Just be happy. And you're like, nice story. Why this guy always roasting me?
That's what I'm here for. That wrestling dude, DOW everywhere, man. Like, subscribe. Again, man, thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Primo.